It's tough to get over the lackluster Gilmore Girls, A Year in the Life, but these TV revivals are stronger outings. After eagerly anticipating the Netflix revival of the mother-daughter series, many of us wondered why Rory, Alexis Bledel, was in such a bad place in her career, and Lorelai, Lauren Graham, and Luke Danes, Scott Patterson, were still unmarried. Those For a Year in the Life episodes did have some high points, including the tiny cameo from Sookie St. James, Melissa McCarthy. But while that show's return had major problems, there are plenty of other revivals that brought back original characters in engaging ways and also stood on their own. Girl Meets World, 2014 to 2017. It's common for a sitcom reboot to be about the kids of original characters, and yet Girl Meets World is still a worthy Boy Meets World revival. It captures the heartwarming tone of the 1990s sitcom and makes us feel every emotion that Riley Matthews, Rowan Blanchard, does. The best part of watching Girl Meets World's 3 seasons is feeling confident that the characters are in the place in their lives that they should be, which is the experience we missed out on when watching A Year in the Life. Corey Matthews, Ben Savage, and Topanga Lawrence, Danielle Fishel, are raising Riley and dealing with the ups and downs of their teaching and law careers. It's great seeing them all grown up and following their dreams. Melrose Place, 2009 to 2010. The original Melrose Place has more than a few wild moments, including that shocking apartment complex fire. Although the 2009 revival only had 1 season, it has the same setting and over-the-top plotlines as the first one. Amanda Woodward, Heather Locklear, is one of the best characters from the 1990s show, and she thankfully comes back for the reboot. It's just as enjoyable seeing her work in advertising as it was before, and new publicist Ella Sims, Katie Cassidy, has the same ambitious and determined spirit. The Melrose Place revival also feels more focused than Iattle. It's still a soap opera-esque series where you never know what's going to happen between the dramatic characters, and it's more fun than sitting through the strange and awkward Stars Hollow musical. Charmed, 2018 to 2022. The magical and compelling new story about sisters who are witches is as good as the original. Maggie, Sarah Jeffrey, Mel, Melanie Diaz, and Macy, Madeline Mantock, are just as engaging to watch, and they're smart, cool, and interesting new characters rather than carbon copies of their predecessors. One of the problems with the Gilmore Girls revival is the characters being stuck in the past. Lorelai thinks about her postponed wedding to Luke, and Rory wonders about her old love interests and career aspirations. The Charmed reboot works so well because the characters are firmly in the present day, working on their magic skills and fighting new villains. Mad About You, 2019. One of the toughest things to accept is that the Gilmore Girls revival isn't as funny as the original. Lorelai and Rory fat-shame other characters while sitting by the pool, and Kirk glistens, Sean Gunn, oh, business falls flat. The Mad About You revival, however, has the hilarious and smart tone of the original 1990s sitcom. Sure, it's strange that the new episodes retcon the series finale and Paul Racer, and Jamie Buckman's, Helen Hunt, daughter Mabel is now in college instead of an older adult. But, since it's still a treat watching this genuinely in love couple on our screens, we can forget about that. Since the main characters are navigating the struggles of being empty nesters and Jamie wants to restart her PR career, the Mad About You revival gives a complex picture of how tough this stage of life can be. In contrast, it's tough seeing Lorelai still finding her place years after Rory left home. 90210, 2008 to 2013. It's hard to reboot such an influential teen drama, but Beverly Hills, 90210's revival is just as much fun as the original. Echoing the beginning of the 1990s show, 90210 starts off with siblings Dixon, Tristan Wilds, and Annie Wilson, Sheen Grimes, moving to the California location and being stunned by their fashionable and wealthy peers. Iattle has upsetting storylines from beloved original characters, like seeing Doyle, Danny Strong, and Paris Gellers, Lisa Vile, divorced, but 90210 merges the past and present more smoothly. It's great seeing Kelly Taylor, Jenny Garth, in a compelling role as Erin Silvers, Jessica Stroup, older sister and the high school guidance counselor. Season 1 also has a fun scene between Kelly and Brenda Walsh, Shannon Doherty, and if we tuned into the original, we likely enjoyed watching them address the drama of their mutual love interest, Dylan McKay, Luke Perry. Veronica Mars, 2019. The Veronica Mars Hulu revival gave viewers what they had been hoping for, another solid story about their favorite smart, sassy, and fast-talking detective. While we tuned into A Year in the Life and wondered why Rory has such a messy life now, we can feel good about the grown-up Veronica, Kristen Bell. She's as intelligent and passionate as ever, and she's still solving crimes. This time, though, she's older and more mature, and the revival feels like a natural progression of her arc. It's also nice to see Veronica and Logan Eccles, Jason Doring, still together, which serves as a reminder that, despite the focus on romance on Gilmore Girls, the revival didn't give us any great Rory love stories. Although one major twist is still debated, and many wish it hadn't happened, Veronica Mars Season 4 is still a worthy addition to the show and more exciting than A Year in the Life. Twin Peaks: The Return, 2017. Considering that Twin Peaks Season 2 ended in 1991 and the revival aired in 2017, it's amazing that the surreal tone, well-written characters, and interesting mysteries were just as solid as they were the first time around. Now, it's 2014, and Dale Cooper, Kyle MacLachlan, is still handling the frightening figures and dangerous situations he did before. Twin Peaks: The Revival did a better job than A Year in the Life with expanding the setting. Unlike the dull and disappointing storyline of Rory's life in London with Logan Huntsberger, Matt Chutry, you're intrigued by seeing Las Vegas since it makes the whole Twin Peaks world feel mysterious, not just the eerie small town from the original. Cobra Kai, 2018 to 2025. The Netflix revival of the classic Karate Kid film franchise stands on its own, but it's particularly meaningful if you're familiar with the original characters. The series does an incredible job adding new young characters to the story while focusing on the adult life of Daniel LaRusso, Ralph Macchio. If it was tough to see Rory not make much headway with her journalism career, it's moving seeing Daniel rediscover his love and passion for karate and connect with this part of himself. Daniel is a great example of how to bring an original character who fans have fond memories of into a revival.